Hi everyone, and welcome back to That's Mental. Today I want to talk about being re-traumatized at work. So I've already made a few videos on workplace trauma, which I will share either here somewhere up in the screen, or I'm going to put it in the description box below. You can find all of these on my channel in a playlist about trauma. And I also wrote a blog post about burnout PTSD, in which I talk about the fact that after burning out once, you become scared of not being able to do things again and so on. So I will also put that in the description box below so you can go and check it out if you're interested. A while back, I shared my story called When Your Trust is Broken at Work Part 2. This is about how one of my colleagues broke my trust in the middle of a project that we were working on and completely threw me for a loop. So again, you can check that out on my channel and I will put it in the description as well. The aftermath of this event basically went on for months, and it ended up in me leaving that company in the end. And anyway, the fact is that one of the moments that I experienced during this ongoing disagreement with my colleague was exactly something that re-traumatized me, because it reminded me of something that I had experienced before during my time at the agency. And if you've been here for a while, then you'll know that my years at the agency were absolutely my worst years when it comes to burnout and my mental health. So in this situation that took place now a few years ago, I was preparing for a conversation between me and my colleague and HR. I'd been preparing for a while for what I was gonna say. I'd received advice, I'd written everything down, I'd really thought about it. Like, I was so ready for this conversation. I was like, right, I'm gonna go in there. I have all of my facts lined up. I'd even power dressed that day because I really wanted to feel confident about it. I walk into the room and I'm immediately thrown off by the fact that there's another person there that I was absolutely not expecting. And for that part of the story, you'll just have to check the other video. I will not go into that again. But this throws me off. And before that person leaves the room, they say to me, okay, well, we've received some feedback and like negative reviews or negative comments about you, and I'll leave you with this person and they can share that with you and talk about it. Luckily, I have the presence of mind to ask them, okay, but was this feedback given directly to you or did you hear about it? And they said, no, some of it was given directly to me. So I was like, okay, so I guess you're not making this up, but still, you know, like major surprise. And then this person leaves. But this was already the first re-traumatizing part, because we've heard comments about you, or there have been comments or people have said things about you. It's so vague. It's like, first of all, which people? Second of all, what things? What feedback? And there you are all of a sudden imagining the worst possible thing that someone could have said about you. Anyway, the planned conversation starts happening and we're talking about it, and out of nowhere and completely off topic, the person that I'm talking to says, there's been complaints about you, people can sense that you're unhappy, they're not happy about the collaboration, like you're not being collaborative and blah blah blah. And all of a sudden my mind is reeling. Like, again, like I just said, like I'm completely shocked. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What people? What, like, I just don't even know. And then this person goes on to say, yeah, you did this and you did that, and they can, don't you think that they can sense it? And don't you think that they felt this was uncooperative and blah, blah, blah. Basically just throwing around vague accusations, making it about what other people said. And this is exactly where I want to get into the re-traumatized bit, because I was fighting for my life in that meeting. Like, I'm not even joking. I'm not exaggerating. Because as this person is saying these things to me, my mind is spinning wheels. Like, it's going like crazy. And I'm caught off guard. Like I said, I was not prepared. And these things are making me doubt myself big time. Because just as a reminder, the people are saying things about you is the oldest tactic in the book. It's vague enough to sound like you've done something and make you doubt yourself, but not specific enough to name a problem and something actionable that you can actually work on. And this is the exact tactic that was used against me in the agency by one of my colleagues who was bullying me, and you can watch another video I made about that, and by my client at the time. And the reason that this is devastating is because you start to doubt yourself. Like, you ask yourself, am I the problem? Did I do something wrong? What did I do? What did I say? Oh my God, who did I talk to? Who is the person that said something against me? What did they say? Like, what could I have possibly done? So you start running all of these scenarios, wondering who it might have been, what they might have said, what it is that they don't like about you. What did I do? Like, this is the worst question, you know, questioning your own behavior, wondering if you could have done something different. It's enough to make you lose your sanity. And of course, your self-confidence, like your self-confidence disappears completely because you're doubting everything that you said and did and every single interaction. And they want you to doubt yourself. They want you to feel hopeless because then they can control you and manipulate you out of fear, like use your fear against you. So you can imagine that as I'm sitting there, all of this is flashing through my mind and I'm like, holy shit, I can't believe this is happening to me again. Oh my God, what is going on? Like, what is this? Like, I'm just in this situation realizing what's happening. And I have to act cool. I have to stay calm. I have to stay on top of it. I cannot show that this is affecting me. And I most certainly cannot let this derail the conversation that I had planned to have. After that meeting though, I was so shaken, like needless to say, I was completely falling apart. Like, I went home and I was in complete shock because in my mind, not only was I replaying the ambush that I had just witnessed, but I also knew where this could go, like the dangerous place that this can end up for me, like for me mentally, I mean, like the danger of falling into this spiral. I was so scared because I absolutely did not want to go back there. Like, I never want to feel like that again. And this is exactly what I mean by re-traumatized, because not only did someone use the same weapon against me as other people had done in the past, but I also had to remember the fear and the way that I felt back then and all of those horrible feelings that I had been living with and carrying with on my own. Here is the good part of the story, and trust me, there is a good part. The good news is that considering that all of the work that I had done on myself in the meantime to heal, to develop my awareness of my own mental health, of my own behaviors, my patterns, also to recognize the kind of toxic behaviors that I had been in, I was able to catch this in real time. This means that even though I was scared, I could have some sort of like out of body experience, right? I was observing what was happening as I was in the situation. I could kind of stand back and watch what was happening and be like, oh my God, this is what they're trying to do. This is what helped me manage myself in that situation, stay in control, not let it get to me, like not get into that fight or flight mode and freeze or panic or whatever, or start to cry, but really just stay calm and let the conversation finish and then break down after it happened. It also helped me to name and express my fear, so to kind of name and recognize what was going on and then put a label to that, if that makes sense, and also express it to others so that I could get help. And again, if you remember, or if you've been here for a while in my journey, getting help is a huge part of not navigating these stressors alone and really being able to make my way through these difficult times. And I'm eternally grateful, of course, for the friends who helped me in that moment when I kind of turned to them to explain what I was experiencing and ask for their support. And this allowed me to say it aloud and realize, like, I'm not that person anymore. I'm not the same person I was like 8 years ago or more. And I'm not going to, not only do I not have to, but I'm not going to fall into that spiral because I'm stronger. I recognize their manipulative behavior as they're doing it to me. You know, like, I'm just a completely different person. And in a way, this gave me the strength to know that I could get through this. Remind myself that they are trying to manipulate me and that what they're saying is not true. And even if it is true, it doesn't even matter. Like, who, you know what I mean? It's like at a certain point, you really have to take a step back from this criticism. Of course, most of the time it's not true. But even if it was true, at the end of the day, like, not everybody is gonna like you. And you just have to live with it, or live with the fact that you maybe did something wrong, you know? And don't get me wrong, it was hard. Like, it was really hard. But it was also not as devastating as my brain wanted me to believe. And this is the real beauty of working on yourself and healing your trauma. It's hard and it's ugly and it's a long road. But it also means that you can overcome situations like this. It means that you build the mental fortitude to get through it. And that's when you realize how much you've changed. And honestly, this is the beautiful part, I have to say. Like, of course, in the moment it's hard, but recognizing the growth and recognizing your ability to make it out of such a situation is something to be really proud of. Something to celebrate and something to take forward with you, because let's be honest, we're never going to be rid of toxic people and toxic colleagues. Unfortunately, that's just the truth. So it's really about building the capacity and the resilience to deal with it. And most importantly, I also think how to protect yourself. Like, how are you going to behave differently next time, you know? And when you realize how much you've changed and that it doesn't have power over you anymore, it is so liberating. So if this has happened to you, first of all, I want to say I'm sorry and I hope this never happens to you again. No one should have to go through this. Like, honestly, none of us should have to go through this traumatizing shit and toxic behavior at work. Like, full stop. But it does happen, and if it has happened to you, I'm sorry you've had to experience this. But just know that you can make it through. Just like I somehow managed to make it through, you can too, especially if you do the work, especially if you get help, especially if you examine your own behaviors. I believe that it's possible for us to make it through stronger and better. So I cannot recommend it enough. You don't have to do this alone, by the way. When I say do the work, you can go to therapy, you can get a coach. And reminder, I'm a coach and I'm available. I do have a few spots available. So if you're interested in coaching, get in touch. You can also talk to your friends, or you can read a ton of books. Sometimes I link those resources as well in my videos. So whatever it is that helps, make sure that you have someone on your side, and good luck. See you next time.